Welcome to my energy update and welcome to Joyous June. And who is overseeing Joyous June? Of course, it's Hathor, the goddess of love, joy, play, womb wisdom, fertility, rebirth. You know, she's so starseedy as well because she comes from the stars, as do all the gods and goddesses actually. But she is the seven Hathors. She is the seven Pleiades. She is connected and quite frankly, the truth of Land of the First Time, Zep Tepi, divine feminine, like one of the oldest goddesses. But she is here to show us and remind us what it is just to take life a little less seriously and just connect through joy, dance, celebration, and just fun and play. And I think that our spiritual path has been kind of like lost along the way, cat of nine tails, smacking ourselves, we are not worthy, we are not worthy. Do you know what I mean? And there's been like kind of almost a conditioning on how it is to be if you to turn up in the world and be spiritual. You know what I mean? It's like I'm always going on about it. I've now coined the term priestess with a pimp limp. Are you a priestess with a pimp limp? Are you a priest with a pimp limp? Straight away, you know exactly what that means. We're a little bit different. We got a little bit of swag about us and we kind of dance to the beat. There's the music again of our own drum. And this is what Hathor's here to show you. You know, we're here to be uniquely ourselves, be uniquely you, showing up no matter what, because there is no truth is authenticity. Anything less than that, light does not perform because light just is. And I think we're at the point of the game now where one can ascertain whether something is true and just or not, and whether it feels comfortable or uncomfortable. So if you're in a position where you're kind of trying to share your light and shine your light and it doesn't feel that great, then you need to look at that. Ask Hathor and just say, you know, what's going on here? How can I show up in the world and just basically give zero fucks, basically give zero worries about what other people think, because that's the biggest blocker, right? And ain't we all had that, and ain't we all have that? How can I just turn up and be me? Do you know what I mean? Dance like nobody's watching and just, you know, just enjoy. And that's what I've come to realize, right, through this crazy spiritual life, that quite honestly, it's so flipping, it's so simple, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? We're here just to express who we truly are. Who are you? So who are you? You know, are you quite a funny person deep down? But you don't really show that because outside society asks you to kind of like fit in, you know? Are you quite bubbly and loud, but you keep yourself super quiet because you don't want to upset the apple cart? You know, are you quiet because you really want to be loud? You know what I'm saying? So it really is like kind of getting to that comfortability of just showing up and being who exactly you want to be and really dropping this, conformity on how it is to turn up in the spiritual world. And I don't know about you, but I am now officially kind of like letting go of all of that, because I have been in this gig for a very, very long time, and I've walked in and amongst everything out there and walked the spiritual path for a very, very long time. And quite frankly, it's led me to a beautiful place, which is I don't fit into that. It's taken me a very long time, but I did. I walked the corridors of New Age spirituality for a very long time, always feeling a little bit orcs, a little bit like, well, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm a bit too noisy for that. You know, I say fuck far too much and like, they're not going to like that. So I kind of like had this thing. So it's always been not okay to be me. And now all of a sudden I'm sat here, but perimenopause also brings this zero fucks thing up quite a lot. Whatever. I'm over it now. Do you know what I mean? I'm too long in the tooth and I just can't. I can't play. I can't pretend. I can't dim light my light, and I don't wanna. And you know what the beautiful thing is I've come to this realization, and it's all collective because we're all connected together, shining my Batman sign in the sky, looking for my other peeps who also give zero fucks. And I'm just like, you're finding me and I'm finding you. And we're having great conversations straight off the bat, first time meeting each other. And all of a sudden there's this like what I call the comfy slippers syndrome. Well, it's not really a syndrome, it's a wonderful thing, where you just instantly vibing, and you're not worried about what the person thinks of you, and you're actually feeling like you can say anything, and you ask a question and you're not going to feel stupid. Do you know what I mean? There's this safety and security because why? It's tribe. And tribe is the one thing, true tribe, where you will feel that you can actually be unapologetically you, no matter what, you know, all the way around, right? And I have always said that this hard work we do to unearth and unlock, like, you know, all of this magic that we've been in this quest and pursuit of, it happens so quickly when you find your tribe and you find yourself that you're surrounded by your soul team. Okay. And that is the deities, the gods and goddesses, of course, but it's your physical incarnated tribe. And that's why it's so important to find each other. And that's the whole reason why I get out of bed every single day. It's the whole reason why this channel exists. It's the whole reason why Marie does sacred missions and expeditions, because over and above everything else, where I hold these groups and I do these things, Egypt, Avalon, soon to be Africa, here in the bush, whatever, all of these magical places. Yes, it's very cool. And we connect in with the wisdoms and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, it's a meeting place. It's a meeting place, because I said to you loads of lifetimes before, probably when we were up there, listen, I'm going to meet you at the pyramids in this timeline, and I'll be wearing this shirt and I'll be looking a certain type of way. I'll be the priestess with a little bit of a limp, and you'll know who I am. And you said the same to me, and I was like, gotcha, fist bump, down we go. Do you know what I mean? So that's the way I see life. Welcome to my mind. That's joy, man. That's joy. So bringing in Hathor, the goddess of joy, play, community, unity, all of those things. Now, I will be doing a video after this one for you to really deep dive into the medicine of her. As I've always said, these gods and goddesses, they have a unique relationship with you. So my sharing is just a portal entry into you just to get going. And then beyond that is your connection with Hathor and how she speaks to you. Like I've always said, Sekhmet has a very unique relationship with me. She doesn't have the same relationship with anybody else, but she has a unique relationship with you, doesn't have that same relationship with anybody else. But together, we're all one big happy tribe, all team Sekhmet, right? So allow that really personal connection to come through. I'm just going to open the portal and away you go. So we are in Joyous June, and we are definitely vibing with Hathor, and it's happening. So let me get into my list. I have 3 points, always the power of 3, and I'm going to dive straight into it, as they say. So let's talk about the entry of June. It's all been a little bit fractious, actually, because we've had some flipping intense solar storms, and that's kicked in the last few days. Today, I feel like it's subsided. So I'm recording this on the 4th of June. So I would have uploaded it on this day, on a Wednesday. So you would have felt that like Tuesday, Monday, over the weekend, yeah, shit was getting real. And these solar storms were really, really coming up, and they were serving a purpose to purge, to surge and purge. Now, let's keep it real. We've just come out of mayhem and magic of May. As we all know, who went through the biggest grief walk ever? Like, that'll be me. In fact, I've been in a grief walk for months now. Different to the Dark Night of the Soul. It was the depths. And I know we've all been into that. And that's where Wajit came in. And she was like, right, Kundalini Cobra, or Cobra Kundalini, whichever way you want to say it. She was bringing in that energy and frequency. Why? Because we've been on such a journey, have we not? Sekhmet has been burning all of the chaos away and all of those things, releasing the blockages, transforming your fear into courage so you can do this walk. Then in comes Wajit. She's like, oh, hey, how's it going? I'm your primordial power. I'm your sacred Kundalini. I connect you to the stars, but I also ultimately connect you to the earth. The last pit stop, as it were, is Gaia, is Earth. And when you agree to die, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, that's when you and I will unite. And that's what's happened, right? So we've been going through this Kundalini burning. Now, a lot of you through the solar storms have been feeling like a fever by fire, let's say, and that is Kundalini clearings. So all of these things, physical, it's these solar storms have been ramping it up and clearing it out. Makes sense, right? So then we enter into June. What's the purpose of all of this? We get so stuck in purging that we forget the outcome. Why are we doing it? We're not going to be in this forever. We're clearing the way so we can embody more love. We're clearing all this shit out the way because it's taking up space. We have to bring in more love. Now, short story, just to back this up, because how life imitates art, right? I've been doing a music production course, and it was so interesting because my teacher said to me, right, the way we actually produce music is there's this big screen and there's all these different frequencies and energies. They look like your blood pressure. It's all these lines and everything, and it's all music and frequency and energy. And he was like, right, we have to put all of these sounds in, but they all have to fit together like a Tetris block, and when we trim all the energy that we don't need, and we basically fine tune that frequency, which looks a bit different to that frequency, which looks a bit different to that frequency, we put it all together so it fits beautifully. Everything's being given the right ample amount of space to create the right sound, and then collectively as a whole, it creates a song. How's that? right? So I'm just sat there listening to my teacher. I mean, he's teaching me music production, but I'm like, that makes so much sense. It makes so much sense that is basically what we're doing with this purge. We're making way for all of the good stuff. All of the old frequency you don't need needs to be gone. So the good frequency can come in and you can sing your song. This is going to be very music orientated, as Hathor's all about that. But let's just put that in there. You know, it's like you're a beautiful, divine musical Tetris. Let's just leave that there, shall we? Because you are, right? So now it's not just about the physical purging that these solar storms are brought in, just to revisit these kind of like symptoms you might be having. A lot of people, headaches, intense headaches, very bad headaches. Physical, feeling it. Mental, obviously, how you're thinking. And sometimes spiritual beliefs get challenged. So all of this shit needs to be purged. So it doesn't matter where you're getting tapped. It's just like, it's got to go, right? So for me, it was more like a habit that got shown yesterday. I can go from a creative to crackhead in 0.5 seconds, kind of like, you know, being on the spectrum and being channels as we are. It's all very ADHD, isn't it? You know what I mean? And I can get hyper focused. And if I don't disengage and go walk the dogs, it can all go a bit tits up. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. And I had this, and I wasn't even creating nicely. I had this big tractor tire behind me and I was like, fuck, I can't stop because I was so hyper focused. And my husband's not here. I'm here on my own. So I have to parent myself. And I didn't do very well yesterday. But I threw myself into a beautiful essential oils bath last night, embraced myself, laughed at myself and went, look at that. You went and did that crackhead thing again. But you know what? I'm not going to live like that anymore. But I observed myself and I let her just, like a little naughty child, just let it happen. And then I woke up this morning feeling clean as a whistle. So it's going to be habits as well, because that really gets in the way of me when it really clogs my creative process. And I have such a strong, powerful channel, as we all do, that comes in. And when it comes in, there's so many tabs open, it creates procrastination. You start treading water and then you do absolutely nothing, right? So inspiration gets slammed. And that is being in the head too much, right? So that's a lot of things. So if you're also getting headaches as well, it's burning away belief systems and all those sort of things. Don't need to know the ins and outs of it, because remember, focus on Joyous June, focus on the joy and what's coming in and why. Think less about what's going out. It's just done. You know what I mean? Don't go into yesterday's trash and start pulling out the old baked bean tins, because for what? You know what I mean? Okay, so next point now. So this is point number 2. Embodiment is happening. I have lots of stories for you now. So I connected with Hathor yesterday, and it was quite lovely because during that crackhead day that I had yesterday, I sat in front of her and she really kind of came through, but then took me straight up to the Hathors, which are the 7 Pleiades, the 7 Hathors. And I went right up to the stars and connected with the Venus energies. And they just poured this like honey nectar into my being. And they said, this is because you've just burnt out everything that you needed. So you're being replenished and you're being soothed and you're really being brought back to your heart of one. And as I started to love myself and go, oh, hey, I really felt my energy start to restore and forgive myself. And I just felt a bit better rather than kind of like vibrating a bit. That's what the solar storms did for me. And I just felt it all dissipate and disappear. And I was like, so it's all just taking a conscious moment to receive love. And sometimes we think we're doing it and we're not. So anyway, she sat on this altar here. I have, don't know whether you can see. There they are. Sekhmet and Wadjet, you know, so they are behind me because they've always got my back. And then I have Hathor over here. So anyway, Hathor says to me as I'm walking out the office, I want to go over there. So all of a sudden I place her on the other altar and they become triple goddesses. So we have Sekhmet, Hathor and Wadjet. And then Wadjet starts speaking. Hathor starts speaking, and they just said, we're not going anywhere. We're now this beautiful blend of everything. So I felt very strongly with Wadjet. Usually each month we teach with a god or a goddess, and we're not doing that anymore because they said that's not how it's going to be. So I used to teach like Ma'at. Okay, end of the month, we move on to another deity, end of the month, and so on and so forth. And that's how we've been. That's how our energy's been. And now Wadjet said, right, you're not closing on the month of May and leaving me behind. I'm now coming in even stronger to help you with this foundation. I'm coming to Avalon with you, with my group in August. I'm going to be doing this. It's now up front and center. Sekhmet, as we know, is all about. And Hathor was just like, me too. So we had like this moment between the 3 of them and me, 4th. And I was like, oh, this is embodiment. This is true embodiment, meaning we're not stepping away from anything now to go over there. It's like it's in now. We've done enough work where we've really tip-topped and we're really, really embodied. And now we're bringing this really embodied, bringing in really embodied. So it's a good sign. So I'm going to be kind of like teaching and sharing with a blend of all of these goddesses now, Hathor, Sekhmet, and Wadjet, and Nekbet is also coming in. So it's all kind of like becoming that oneness wisdom, which I always knew that they were. You knew that they were. But in our physical bodies, that's where it really goes on, because ascension is through descension. We don't go up to the stars. We don't go up. We come down. And that is what Wadjet showed us with the Kundalini Cobra energy, right? So that's what's happening. So my final point now, 2026, you are not broken. Yes, I'm talking about next year, because it's just around the corner. This beautiful becoming of what Hathor's going to take us through this month of just joy, play, and all the rest of it, not sweating the small stuff. I said to Hathor, but I'm really happy because I just, I'll go off and do a cheeky mix in the other room, DJing now, and I'm like, is it okay that I do this? Should I be recording videos? There's that like, shouldn't be doing this. What, enjoying yourself? So I've got I DJ and I cry because it makes me so happy, because I'm just like jamming, party for one. And it's like, I'm just having the best time. And she said, how do you feel? I said, I feel amazing. And do you know what the funny thing is my son, Bevan, in the UK, he's now left home, he's living in London. He's always been an amazing DJ, self-taught. Anyway, he's now kind of gone into DJ competitions and things like that. He's jamming some mixes, on that side as well. And he's called B Ritual, which is amazing. And my DJ name, Marisi. Couldn't think of anything else. Answers in the comments, right? Help me out. So he's DJing, I'm DJing. Now, my son has had a loss of purpose. He's 24. He's really been searching for himself. I said to him, son, go get your decks. Go do some mixes. Go connect with my teacher. Let's get it on now. Let's make it a thing. DJing, my daughter DJs as well. Anyway, sidebar. He started DJing, his life's turned round, and all of a sudden, business is exploding for him. He's found a new direction. This is happening. He's got employed for this job. And do you know why? Do you know why this is so important? Because there was joy in his heart. I said, Spirit doesn't look down at you and say, oh, he's receiving joy from the money trading he's doing, or, oh, he's receiving joy for that business project there. No, the universe just sees that you're happy. It just feels that harmonious vibration. So if that's being instilled or ignited by dancing like nobody's watching, DJing a set, they don't look at it, and it's not conditional. They don't look to where it's coming from. You're just vibrating because you're happy. Start your day with music. Start your day with music and see how different your day is. Vibration high, heart open, universe matches to you. Away you go. And that is what Hathor's showing us through her music, dance, and festival. So I know we know about music, but I'm really going to take you there this month, even deeper than we've gone before, to really connect with our success. And success is joy. It's not money in the bank. It's not fast cars. So as soon as we let go of that, like, your only mission here in this life is to find joy, So that's it, and that's all. So next year, when you turn up at places, you're not turning up because you need to fix yourself. You're not going to Avalon or Egypt because you need to understand something about you that didn't, because otherwise it's just on and on. You're going to turn up in Egypt because you're going to be tribal, dancing around a fire with a loincloth on with your tribe and having the best time. You're going to be just having so much fun. So why can't we now switch to celebration of life rather than fixing ourselves? So that's my wish for myself and my wish for you. That's my intention. So anyway, with that being said, just one final announcement. The Wadjet Wisdom meditation is now uploaded. So those that were in Temple, I do invite you to go over there and really go into the full experience with that meditation. And there'll be more information to come through videos. But as always, thank you for receiving this information. Thank you for receiving this channel. And from me and Hathor and Wadjet and Sekhmet and all of them, peace, love,